Alright, let's see. Can you see me? There we go. Alright. Maybe that's better. Okay, let's try this. Hello, YouTubers. I lost some footage on the MTD lawnmower deal. Some notes here. First time I took the carb off, I had my shoulder in the way on some of that video, and then I can't blame the camera. It's probably me. Usually I push the button and I can see the little record on there, and I messed up. So the first time I took the carburetor apart, first time I took it off, I filmed it, but it didn't tape because I guess I didn't push the button good enough. So that's missing on the video. And then it shows about the check ball, the little ball that I popped out with the Allen wrench with the drill bit. That's on there, but I ordered a carburetor for this. The carburetor should be coming in, I think, this coming Friday. It's Monday. It's Memorial Day. I think it should be coming in this Friday or Saturday. But I will record taking that carburetor off, and I will take the old carburetor apart for you again, even though it doesn't work. I'll show you that. I lost some of the footage. Then I had my shoulder in the way. So the first part of this thing is the reason that I'm showing you next is the reason why I think this is in here. Besides the carb being bad, they overfilled this stupidly full of oil. It was almost twice as much as what you started out with. So if this thing would have taken a quarter of a quart, there's like a half a quart in this thing. It's crazy. So I'm going to let you watch the video now, but I apologize for missing some of the stuff. But on the back side of this, I'll see if when I go to put the carburetor on, I can go back the procedure of taking the carburetor off, and then I'll take the old carburetor apart and show you the inside of it. All right, bye. Hello, YouTubers. It's Selling Guy 60. Got another mower to work on here, another free one. I started out with 3 mowers, and I sold 2 of them already this year. I have the 3rd one for sale, which is a Lawn Boy that I worked on last year. I think I shot some video on it. And then I found 2 mowers back to back, pretty close. The video before this one, I found a Craftsman mower down the street on a Friday, and I sold it and I rented on Marketplace on Monday, and I sold it on a Wednesday. So about 6 days I had that one. That was a pretty quick turnaround. So Thursday I was coming home, and I found this mower, and we're going to look at this one here and go over the little things that we look at to see if it's worthwhile working on. I did pull it. It started for a few seconds and then shut off. So I've gone through this a little bit just to see if it was worth even doing a video on. So I kind of skipped through that process. It does run. It runs for a few seconds and shuts off. Let's see here. We have, it's an MTD with a, what is it? 300E engine. So it's a Briggs & Stratton. I pulled the air cleaner off, which was pretty dirty. And look at this, oily. There's oil all along there. Look at all that oil. I'll pull this up out of the way. There's oil all up in here. All in the bottom of this carburetor. There's oil everywhere. Oil, oil, oil. So I started it. Didn't really check too much of it. I'll just grab myself a rag here. I'll spin this thing around a little bit. And the oil check tube is, see how much oil's in it? You come along with me. Okay. Just It's a weird one. This is a newer one. I was thinking the other day, you know what? I haven't worked on a plastic carburetor yet. I was thinking that about a couple weeks ago. And what do I get? One with a plastic carburetor, so. Oh, wow. Look at that. Look how full that is. You can't see. Okay, right. See right where the top of my thumb is? That's how much oil's in this thing. Look at that. How much oil's in there. This thing is way over full. Where my thumb is almost looks like too regular. There's where it's supposed to be, right there where the end of my thumb is, and it's way up here. So this thing is way over full. So I'm going to have to drain some of the oil out of this. I have to put it on its side, drain some oil out of it before we even start working on it. Working on it here. So it's got too much oil in it. That's probably what all this residue here is. That could be why this thing isn't running right. And, I know it had some gas in it, but I didn't really have my flashlight on me. Let's see what the inside of the tank looks like. So let's leave you and I look in the inside of the tank. There's a filter in there. And there's also grass in there. Nice. This person didn't really take very good care. Well, it took care of it, but there's a nice filter in there. But if you can look back in there, I don't think you can see it through here. The lens. Maybe you can see it. Yeah, there he is. You can see the grass. There's a pile of, there's grass underneath the gas. So I'm gonna have to pull this gas tank off and flush it out. Don't have to do it, but I'm going to. There's a screen down there that will probably pick up that gas, but I think there's enough grass in there that when this thing is running, it may pull the gas or that grass in the tank up around the screen and restrict the gas flow. There's that much grass in there. So, okay, let me set you up and we'll take the top off this thing and start in on it. I'm going to drain the oil too. Some of the oil. Alright. Well, it seems on this mower you can't drain it from underneath. The newer ones, usually you take the oil cap off, the oil fill dipstick out of them, and you can dump them upside down and dump the oil out of them. Well, there used to be a little plug in the bottom one with a 3/8 inch. You can use a 3/8 extension, stick it in there and take the oil off from the bottom. Well, this one doesn't have one. As you can see, now I have to make a mess by dumping the oil off the side and down into a pan. So this ought to be interesting. So I took this little chute off here. I'm going to set it up on that and see if we can watch what I'm doing. You can see that? Might not be. I'll just put it here on the floor. That's about as good as it's going to get. It's going to get messy, I have a feeling. Good thing I got floor dry, huh? Alright, so let's take the cap off. There's no drain. So I'm going to have to flip this up on its side. This is going to be a mess. Okay, here we go. How do you do this? Okay, I'll try this. There we go. I got it here. Oh, that oil's black. Whew. Okay. If I had enough hands, I'd show you what I just did. I guess I can kind of show you. There's the oil hole there. I took this pan, stuck it under that oil hole, and just dumped it. But look at that oil. Look how dark that is. Man, that's black. Okay. Okay, now I'll set this up and we'll start taking this top off it, and I'll see if I got enough oil out of it. I think I do. Alright, I'll be back. See if you can see what I'm seeing. there. Okay. Is this recording? It's recording. Okay. So I took this little ball out of here. There you go. There was a ball right up here in the tip. There's a ball. What you do is you take a drill bit that you can fit in the back, the bottom here. See what I'm doing? Find a drill bit that'll fit up in there, and then you push that ball out of here. And what's happening, let me back this up a little bit. Yep, back it up a little bit. And I gotta see what I'm doing. Okay. What's happening is where that ball is and this jet right here, there's junk gets back up in there. This lawnmower is surging still. So I took the carburetor off for the second time. And I saw somebody that popped this little ball out. They popped the ball out with a little drill bit. Slide it up in there. Can you see that? Slide the drill bit up in there and knock that ball out. So I took a drill bit, and I have a real small drill bit, stuck it in there, cleaned it out. You can see the light through there now. See the light through there? It's nice and clean. And I blew that out. And then this little piece here, this little L piece here, it's got a little hole in the bottom too. And you can see that through the lens. That's also lead. It started thundering out. So I'm going to take this ball, I'm going to put the ball, let's zoom back in again, see what I'm doing. We're going to zoom back in, move that down. Okay, got to tilt this a little bit so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I'm going to put that ball back in the top and push it in. So I'm putting the ball, oops, my hands are in the way. Alright, let's go this way. There it is. I'm putting the ball back in the top and I'm pushing it in. If you want to, you can turn it upside down, push it on the bench. Make sure you get that ball back in there. Okay, it's back in there and it's clean. And I'm going to snap this back together and we will see. And you got to make sure these holes are clear too, and they are. You can see through them. There's no debris in there, and that's all clean. So I'm going to snap this back together, and we're going to fire up this lawnmower and see if we can't get it to stop surging. So next time you see this, it'll be me trying to start the lawnmower. Alright. Hey YouTubers. Well, got the carburetor in from we're from Chino, California. They shipped it, had it shipped to Chino from Japan, or from China. Doesn't even, I tell you what, this carburetor doesn't even say China on it anywhere. Let me back this up. Yeah, doesn't show China anywhere on it. It's like, oh, come on, really? It says China on the box, but you can't even put, can't even take the time to put China on the carburetor anywhere? Nope. So, I guess everybody just assumes all these carburetors come from China. So, we're going to take the top off this and show you a little bit more in depth. I lost the footage to this before, so let's see if we can get this set up now. So you won't be looking at my arms. Alright, we're going to start by taking the 3 top ones off. I found this to be, you can get at the carb a lot easier taking these off. They're a 7 and an 8 millimeter. Here's the 7. I got the sockets mixed up here. And there's the 8. Yeah, 7 and 8 millimeter. That's what you need to start out with. So let's see what the top is. Oop. Right? No? Okay. Tops, take the bolts off. The cover is a 8 millimeter. Alright, so let's get these off. So this is my 3rd time taking this off, so I should be pretty good with it. It took about a week to get the... I ordered it, where did I order it? I ordered it on eBay. Paid $9.88 or something like that for it. Okay, so we got that up out of the way. Let's get down here some more. And we're going to be right in here. I can see my finger here. There we go. Let's zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we're going to clamp off that gas line. I use these needle nose with have some tape wrapped around them. So let's get that done first. Clamp that line off real well. So that's good enough. Alright. Some of these screws in here are 7s and some are 8s. We'll just have to, yeah, they got 2 different sizes. There's a steel frame that the bigger ones go onto. These are the 8mm ones I'm taking off now. Maybe I should turn this a little bit. There. Let's zoom in a little bit. There we go. Taking this one off first. Is that one loose? Is that loose in there? Okay, hang on. That's 8. I think the one down, another 8. Where's the other 8? The other 8's right over here on the other side of this. These have threads in them. The other 2 screws are like wood screws. Let's put this back. Make sure we're back in the focus here. Alright, so I'm going to take this socket off, put the smaller one on. This is a 7mm. This one right here. See that there's threads on it, and there's one down here somewhere. Alright, so then this cover comes off. Get that to one side. Okay, now let's take this line off. Hopefully we don't spill too much gas. It's got a little clamp on it. Pull that up out of the way. I've got these little pliers wrap around the gas line. I picked these up from Harbor Freight. So see if I can get this off without spilling too much gas. So now this thing should come out of there. There's a little piece on the top here. Let's see if I can point my finger to it right there. It's a little lever. So we have to pull the carburetor off that, pull it towards you, and then work it off that lever. It's on there a little bit. You got to pull a little bit hard. And then turn the carburetor so you can get it out of that notch. Okay, so there's the old carburetor. Put the new, I'm going to put that in there. We're going to take that apart later. Okay, let's slide the new one on. Let's put that lever on here first. Well, let me look. Alright, I'm back. This had a little piece of plastic on here for like a choke butterfly. Well, the one that came on it doesn't have a choke butterfly. So I pulled that little piece of plastic out of there. Used a pair of like needle nose. Pulled that little plastic thing right out of the intake here, so hopefully it'll work the same. I guess we don't need it. We'll find out, huh? Now we can put it back in easy enough. Okay, so now we got that in there. Let's see if we can't. Put this. Oh, that came off. All right. The O-ring and the other one came off. Stayed on here. Take that off. This is from the other old carburetor. Make sure you take that off, or you'll never get the other one back on and seat flat. Alright, let's push that all the way on. Okay, it's on. Let's see, it's got the same screw pattern there. Alright. Okay, so now we just go in the reverse. Make sure this little foam deal fits on there. There's two little tabs. You can see the two little tabs right here. One's here, one's here. There's a hole here, and there's a hole here. So those tabs have to fit in those holes. Don't forget to slide in your blow-by pipe here, and then fit them in those holes. And they should fit up nice and tight. There we go. Alright, let's put this thing together. Start with the 7s. Yep. Come on, baby. There we go. Maybe I should put that gasoline on first. I'll tell you what, that's what I'll do first. Knew there was something else I should have done. Let's put that gasoline on. Get that on here first. You can at least see it. I can hold on to it with my fingers here. Get it up over the lip. There we go. Yes, put that on before. Get this gas light on before you put everything back together again. Okay. Okay, now we can go back to where we started here, putting the blow-by on, getting those little two holes lined up so it fits on there nice and tight. Okay, make sure the throttle cable, everything works. Okay, now we're cooking with gas. We'll go back in here with the 7mm. Get that started. We'll get this other 7mm started. Yep. Alright. Let's start the 8s. Then we'll go back and tighten them up. Yeah, it's nice to start this first, in case you need to jiggle it around to get these threads started. Don't want to cross thread anything. Now these got threads in them, and they go back into something steel, but those plastic ones that have the kind of a wood screw or wood threads on them type, those go into plastic. You got to be real careful with these here. Just gotta snug these up. Snug these up by hand, and then we'll come back and tighten them up. These are the ones that got thread on them. Okay, let's tighten these up here. This is a new carburetor, so they're going to be a little bit stiff going into the new carburetor. Just take it easy. get all crazy with it. There we go. Let's tighten this one up. Tighten them up a little bit more. It was moving. There we go. Just a little bit. There we go. Don't want to get all crazy with them. Alright. Let's take this line off here. Whenever you unclamp this line, grab a hold of that rubber line and give it a couple squeezes. Squeeze it. In case it wants to flatten the line out a little bit when you go to put that on there. Alright. Now, put the top on. So we got everything? Yeah. Okay. Alright, let's back you up a little bit. Back up, back up, back up. There we go. Tip you up a little. So not too bad. Hopefully this thing doesn't surge. It starts surging again. Might have to try something else here. It might be something internal. The oil on this thing was really, really black. So I get this thing running right. I'm gonna go out there and cut my front yard. And once I come back, I'm gonna have to take that. I think I've showed you in the other one. You have to take this chute off the other side to tip this thing right to get the oil out of it. I didn't want to break that chute off. It's not much. It's not very. It's sturdy enough, but I don't want to force any plastic, push hard on any of that plastic and break it, since I want to sell it. People not like it when it's all broken up. Okay, well, let's open the garage door. I'll get you set up, and I'll actually show it starting this last time. Last time I lost a video of me starting it up, showing that it was surging. So, alright, be right back. Alrighty, here we go. We backed up all the way. And let's push it out that way. Tighten that up. Alright, we'll see how it starts. If it starts on fire, I'm going to push it out in the middle of the yard and let it burn. Okay. So we'll prime it 3 times here. 1, 2, 3. Hopefully she starts. was awesome. Love it when everything works. So it cuts the grass. Doesn't cut it very short because those wheels are set on one single height. So new carb worked fine. Couldn't get that other carb to work. I tried everything there was. Just the one. I like washing my face off with gas. That's the one I picked up from the. I was soaking up the gas under the carburetor. Okay. Oh, wash my face off. The gas takes the dirt off real good. Whew. Yeah, just don't light a match by my face. So that new carb worked great. I don't know why I couldn't get the other one working correctly. I hear people say, well, those new plastic carburetors, you have to replace them. Well, you know what? The older carburetors, we had to replace those too. Most of the time, you can clean the older carburetors out, but sometimes they've been sitting for so long, little galleyways in those carburetors, the new ones, these new plastic ones, or the older ones, sometimes you just have to get another carburetor. So I did everything I could on that one and took it apart even farther the second time I took it off. Blew everything out, and I still couldn't keep that thing from surging. So there, I don't know, that plastic thing with the 3 deals, it pops in there. I don't know, sometimes it felt like it popped in there nice and solid, but it's got a little gasket around there. Could it be leaking air somewhere? Could be leaking around that gasket that goes around in there. I don't know. All I know is this new carb works. And take that side chute off since it's warm. Flip that thing over and drain all that old nasty oil out of there. I'll pull off the spark plug boot, pull it off, and I'll get up underneath there and I'll clean all the, as Bruce Pender would say, clean all the broccoli and clean it up. I'll scrub it up, wash it up, and put it on Craigslist, or not Craigslist. I'll probably put it on Marketplace, sell it for $50 or something. So I got for nothing, did some work to it, had some experience with the new plastic carburetors. It's not a bad job. I've had harder carburetors that came off. Having to get back there and get those little nuts on the backside. That's kind of nice that it slid off, but it's you just got to make sure you get those O-rings on the inside and then that white ring on there. But so let me get this started up here, and I'm gonna have to get another battery before I start pulling this carburetor apart. So after this, I'm going to show you the carburetor, pulling that apart, which should have been on this earlier tape. So new carb worked. I like that. So next time you see me, we'll be up here and we'll be working on that old carburetor, and I'm going to take it apart. Alright. Alright! Ta-da! Alright, we have the carburetor in here. This is the old carb. This was what I took off, these 2 little O-rings. This one goes inside the carburetor I showed you on the other video, and then this one, these both fit on this end of the carburetor. Right here. Goes onto the engine. This is the other side. This is where I pulled that little choke lever off the other one. So let's take this apart. Got gas in here yet. This is a 7mm. Take the bolts off. Went in the bathroom and washed my hands and washed the gas off my face. Gas takes them blackheads off, you know? Gets all the oil out of the pores. Alright, so I know I forgot something. I need to grab a screwdriver. Right back. Screwdriver. Okay. There's little spots in here. I took the screws out here. This is the screw out here. There's a little square in there. So I'm going to stick the screwdriver in that little square and turn it. Pop it down a little bit. We're going to go over to the other side, do the same thing on that one. And we'll get this thing loose. Should still be some gas in this thing here. There we go. Yep, still has gas in it. I'll put that there. Here's a little float. That just snaps up out of there. Maybe I'll run it in a little bit more. Let's see here. Okay, here we go. Okay, make sure I got my hands out of the way. Here's the float. There's a little pin right there. This snaps up out of there. So I'm going to take this little screwdriver, pop it up out of there. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm looking at the camera. Yep. Alright, there we go. Just lift up that one side and it pops right out. There we go. And this and little seats in there too. It's on the bottom side of that. Yep, wait a minute. See little seats on the bottom side right here. Here's that deal on the bottom. There we go. This thing right here. This is the thing I got to pop up out of there. So I just rest the screwdriver on the edge here and pop it up. I show different ways of doing it. This one seemed to work okay for me. Oh! Worked so good, shot right out of there. Okay. I'm going to back this up a little bit. Yeah, wrong way. Okay, here's that little deal that I remember I told you I thought maybe the gasket around here wasn't seating in here where it sits right in this little groove right here, fits right around that little seal there. So if you ever had any leak, and right there's a piece of grass. That's what I think. Can you see it right there? End of my finger. There's a piece of grass. There it is. Piece of grass right there. So I'm saying, it must have fallen. Just gets that little piece of grass. It'll pull it through that screen and get stuck in them little holes. Yeah. So this is what they say is the problem, is the little jet here, and then there's a little jet down. There's a little jet down here. Right down there, there's a little jet you can't see. But this comes apart too. So I'll take this all out, dump the gas out of it, and put it on paper towel. That's all there is to that. I'm going to save this carburetor for parts. I don't know what's good or what's not on it, so I don't know what I use. I could use this for something. Maybe switch it out with another one. Maybe the problem why it surges is in here somewhere. Maybe it's inside this thing somewhere. I don't know. You see much in there. I had blown this all out, so I don't know. All I know is the carb I put on there works. So we back this up a little bit. I'm going to show you that oil that I pulled out of here. Yeah. This oil. Holy cow, man. I tell you what. Look at this oil, man. I don't know if you can see that. Here. Look at that oil, man. There's nothing to it. It's just, there's no viscosity in this oil. I don't know. Maybe they never changed this oil since 2014. I see a little bit of color in there. I don't know if you can. Maybe I can see it with a flashlight off to the side. Can you see the color in there? There's a little bit of color in there. I don't know if it's gas or what. A little bit of color in there. So on these There's 3 adjustments on the wheels. I just noticed that, so I can lower that down if I wanted to. I might before I sell it. Take it, move it down another one so it cuts the grass a little shorter. So that fixed it. The carburetor. I don't know. I've had ones that I've had to replace carburetors on that I couldn't clean. So what's the difference between a plastic one and a cast one? It's a carburetor. It gets plugged up, it gets junk in it. I can't put the blame on these. You know, they make intake manifolds for cars and everything out of this hard plastic stuff. You know, hard plastic stuff. They make intake carburetor parts, all kinds of things that are around heat and stuff like that seem to work and don't work, I guess. So, yeah, it's the new age. Plastic. So, you have to embrace it. You can't fight it. Just drive yourself crazy fighting it. I'm not a big fan of it, but I don't see a big difference. You know, this carburetor can get clogged up just as much as the other carburetor, so that's really not a deal breaker anymore. Carburetor was cheap enough, like I said, $9. I think the cast carburetors, you might be able to get them for $7, maybe even $5 somewhere, free shipping, but you might have to get those from China. I just got this one from a place in California that gets their carburetors from China, so I got a little bit sooner, that's all. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is my first plastic carburetor, like I said on the intro. This is my first plastic carburetor. It is what it is. Not that bad to work on. Actually, it's pretty simple on the inside, considering having to stick screwdrivers in there and taking the jets out, and hopefully you can actually get the jet out. This one just pops right out. So hopefully maybe the next one of these I work on, I can just clean it out. It'll work just fine. Alright, well, this is Rick. Hope you enjoyed this. Sorry about the mismatched stuff. That this should have been earlier in the video, but I might. I don't want to sit there and try to move everything around. If you make it this far, you did good. All right, so this is Rick, Selling Guy 60. See you next time. Bye. Yep, that sure is a lot of broccoli there. I got a pretty good pile of that stuff there. I tell you what, I don't think... Well, let's put it this way. They change the oil like they clean the bottom of their lawnmower. Not very well at all.